Bellow on the bellow on the bellow. Bellow on the bellow on the bellow.
Yeah, the real shop talk. Just come and take a listen. Some grown men with unbiased and honest opinions, and with no agendas, so you just gotta check it. Talking love and life from a male perspective. We keep it authentic, real, no filter. Leave a comment, be part of the show. We here to give you 5 gentlemen's views about manhood, no doubt. This the show you've been needing, yeah, it's the Real Shop Talk. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. We are back. It's Monday. It's 8 p.m. It's the Real Shop Talk. We got an exciting show tonight. It's ladies' night all over again. It looks like I got to do a quick little shift here because I want the ladies to be together tonight. There we go. All right. Make sure that y'all feel nice and safe. Y'all have y'all protectors on either side of you. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you haven't, subscribe to the YouTube page. Click that bell. Make sure if you like the content tonight, click that thumb. And tonight we're gonna have an interesting show. We might laugh. Somebody might, remember some memories that might trigger them a little bit. We're gonna go there. We talk about red flags tonight. And sometimes y'all see red flags and y'all get a mistake for Six Flags and y'all start running towards it because you think it's a fun place to go. It's not. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. First thing I want to do is I want to thank everybody that's in the comments and that will come in the comments. If you're listening to the replay, we love you guys. I always tell you every week, bring a +5 next week. Invite your friends, share. If you like the content, share it out with everybody. Let them get this good content. We're trying to get these algorithms on our side, so make sure you like, share, and invite. So we're gonna start the show off this way because we are the gentlemen of Real Shop Talk. We're gonna let the ladies introduce themselves first. So we're gonna go from left to right. Ladies, what I want you to do is just tell us who you are and a little bit about what you do, and then we're gonna get right into this content. So we're gonna start with Stella Nova. Tell us who you are and a little bit about what you do.
Okay, well, I am a creative writer, and I'm actually working on my comedy. So I'm a content creator. This is what I do for myself. I'm not even going to mention what I do as my day job because it's irrelevant. But I'm a published author. I published my book under my own publishing company. This is my book. It's Life in Question. This is my baby. I published this 6 years ago. And it's kind of nicknamed your #dating Bible because this is like gold on paper. There's over 1,000 questions in this book to help you get to know yourself and others better. So that's basically what I do.
Nice.
I'm gonna try not to butcher your name. Ashana Lane.
Ashana Lane.
I did it.
You did it.
Let us know a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So as I mentioned, I am a Los Angeles native, just moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a business consultant. I help people, get their businesses going. I'm a member of the NSBA and the SBA, so I have resources to help small businesses get funding and grants and loans and different things like that. And I'm also a world traveler. So I travel the world alone, and I have a travel blog that I share all of my stories and tips and advice for other women that are interested in either traveling solo or with a group of friends.
Wow, we haven't even got to our third guest yet, and we already got like a ton of resources. All right, Adrienne Charleston, let us know a little bit about you.
Yes. Hey, Adrienne Charleston. I am the owner of Butterfly Flow Counseling. I am a psychologist here in North Carolina. I do a lot, but mostly therapy. I do have some books. I saw Miss Stella bring her books out. I was like, let me get my stuff. So I do have a poetry book because I do poetry. I love poetry. I have a journal and I have a workbook to help people find their happiness. Because, as we talk about this dating thing and love and life and all this other stuff, sometimes people have to find themselves before they can find somebody else. And that's, how the red flags can that's the people that run to the red flags. They don't know themselves. They run to what they're used to. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, go ahead.
We got some amazing ladies up here, guys. What I want to do real quick, because I know we do this every week because we have to, but we're gonna go around real quick and just introduce ourselves, gentlemen. Just in case there's some, well, I hope that there's a bunch of new people on here tonight. So we're gonna do that for them and people on the replay. So I'll go first. My name is Derek Jones. I'm a life and relationship coach, also the host of the Relationship Gumbo podcast every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And so I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna pass it on to my man John Singletary.
Hey, I'm John Singletary, host of the Help Myself podcast, and my day job is protecting America's freedom. No, I'm in the Air Force, so I'm gonna pass it on to Gunner Man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I am Gunner Man. I am the host of the Gunner Man Show every Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Instagram Live. Passing it down to Tony Massey.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Tony Massey. Man, I don't really feel like I do anything after hearing all those. No, I just work. No, I'm really excited about tonight's show. I love Ladies' Night because it provides a perspective that I think is very much needed, and that's a woman's perspective. So, passing it on to my man Tony Watts.
What's up, people? Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I deeply appreciate it. Again, I picked the winning cast. So we're going to get right into it. My name is Tony Watts. I am the owner of Triumphant Media Group that houses Triumphant TV as well as Monday Wake Up. We're just here to make a village real. So we appreciate you becoming a part of our village.
Beautiful.
And I do want to say, I want to give a shout out to John. I am military as well. I'm retired Army. So shout out.
Yeah, my son's military. Cool.
Well, Tony Massey, you want to let them know that you are?
Well, the Army and the Air Force are kind of like cousins. So I was in the world's finest Navy. So it's almost ridiculous for me to even mention it being in
It is ridiculous for you to mention it because the Navy did nothing. So the Navy does even less than the Air Force. I was just trying to be, trying to unite. But
not fired.
Wow. You know what? Because it's ladies' night, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I ain't gonna even say nothing.
I worked for the Army for 5 years in recruiting, so I'm Army all day. My son is Army. I worked for the Army. I just didn't go in.
Tony Massey,
thank you for your service or whatever.
Exactly. Thank everybody for this.
Whatever.
So let's get into it, guys. I'm gonna start off with the ladies. Basic question: what are beforehand we already established your if you're single or not, but if you were dating, what would be a red flag or two for you that would just make you stop and say, I got to get out of here? And we'll start with Stella Nova.
I'll tell you so what I noticed right off, I'm gonna try to be brief, is inconsistency. That's a huge red flag. That is the number one red flag, because that typically shows up before anything else. So, but you said 2, right?
However many you want to do. I just started off. I didn't want y'all to roll out like a book and be like, wait, let me. So I want to make sure that everybody. Oh, where did she go? Did she run away from the red flags that fast? We're going to get her back. So let's go to Shauna while we're waiting on her to come back.
So for me, it would have to be a person that doesn't want, anything more
about
than
that.
they kind of already have. I know it sounds weird, but I'm a really ambitious woman. I don't really let anything hold me back. If there's a way to go and get it, I'm going to find that way to go and get it. And so a person that just is kind of, always down on their luck, nothing ever works for me. I can't do this. This don't work. I tried it. It didn't work. That type of a mindset for me is a red flag, because I'm like, if I'm a woman and I can go out and get it, then I really think that, y'all say it's a man's world. There's nothing that you can't do. And so sometimes I feel like men are like, I need a woman that pushes me. I need a woman that motivates me. You know, I need a woman that encourages me to go out and get that stuff. And as an ambitious woman, I have that in me, but I need the same. You know, I don't need to come home to somebody that's like, you know, well, I didn't get the job, or I didn't do this because I'm Black, or because I'm a man, or because just whatever, you know, just the defeated mindset to me is a huge red flag, and I stay away from it.
Yeah, for me, I selling dreams. Don't sell me a dream. Just show me the reality and let me decide if that's what I want. Texting too much, because one, for me, if you have a lot of time to text, just like Ashana just said, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, I don't have that much time to text. But if I'm going to speak with you, I prefer that we talk. But I'm not going to text you all day because I have stuff to do. And I will make time to talk to you if you actually call. And kind of belittling what I'm doing. Like, I've had men ask me, how long are you going to be doing that? Or your little business, or what is, you know, how is this going? And why are you doing this? Like, no, because that means you're not going to support me in anything I do. And I, you know, in those little things, I can already foresee that you are not going to be the man candy on my arm when I make it to the top, because you don't know how to act right now. So, yeah.
So Stella Nova, you said you had a college ruled spiral binder full of I'm joking.
No, you said 2, so I was just trying to, you know.
No, I was saying you can do as many as you want. I just didn't, you know, I know some people have like a novel full.
No, I mean, there's a list, because you need to watch out for a lot of things. But I reduced it to, I like to simplify life. I feel like the more you simplify things, the less time you waste on people that are a waste of time. So for me, simplifying all that other stuff, I won't even get to that if you're inconsistent.
Right.
And we're not even going to go, you know, you're not going to pass Boulevard if you're inconsistent. That's just, you know.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
Yeah. That's probably one of the biggest ones that I can think of. So what I'm going to do now, I know the gentleman, this is something you can choose to answer or not, but give us one. I know Tony and I aren't out there, so we had to pretend we're in the land of make believe and pretend like, you know, it's back in the day. So if you want to answer that, Tony, you can let me know, because what we're going to do later is we're going to talk about things that give you pause when you're actually in a relationship versus dating. So we're saving that for later, but right now we're gonna pretend for play that we back then. So John or Gunter Man, whoever want to answer,
Yeah, I'll jump right into that one. A red flag for me is a person that sits around blaming everyone else for what they're going through and where they're at. To me, if you can't take ownership, I'm not going to get involved with that. I just can't, because no matter what's going on, guess what you're going to do? You're going to blame me. You're not going to look at yourself. You're not going to see how you're showing up in situations. You're not even going to be honest enough with yourself to reveal the things that you like, don't like, concerned with. Blaming others tells me that you are not in your power.
Good one.
Anybody else?
Nah.
Oh wow, he don't want to touch that.
I'll say when I was dating before, you know, I got married. Besides, you know, I think it was meeting a woman who lacked flexibility in her desire to get to know someone. Like, she has a plan and she has a list, and I think all that's great. I think having a plan and having a list and having a vision and a goal, I think all of that is a wonderful thing when you're single. But when you allow someone into your space, then there has to be a certain level of flexibility. So for me, if I'm on a first date or second date and she's rigid and she's not malleable, and I'm not suggesting that you just throw away everything, right? Just abandon everything for me. I'm not saying that, but if everything doesn't meet your standard, your timeline, and there's no grace, there's no, room for any changes or modifications, then that's a huge red flag for me, because what that says is, in my opinion, is that I can't be human. You're not looking for someone human. Essentially, in my opinion, you're looking for someone who will not make the mistakes that you've already encountered. And that level of perfection, one, it doesn't exist. And two, it puts a lot of unnecessary pressure, not just on the man, but on the relationship. I can't date a fantasy, and I can't be someone else's, ideal, because I'm far from it. That would be my red flag. That and army women. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
He had to get you back.
He shot back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna throw in a little something into the mix. I think one for me, definitely not number one, but one of them is somebody that always finds something negative in everything. Yes. I remember I got a little like a 1 or 2 minute story time. I went out on a date with somebody. You know how you have these restaurants? It could be like American Fare, but they got like everything on the menu. So no matter like what you like, it's on there. And she was like she looked at the menu. She was like, I don't want none of it. And I was like, we had conversations. You told me what kind of food you like. I made sure that you not just had that, but you had a variety to choose from. And she was like, nah, none of it. I'm good. When we leaving? And I was like, you got to find at least one thing on here. Like, you come on, we already done parked. We done paid the park. What are you doing? And so she picked something. And when it came out, she didn't even taste it. She was like, nah, we need to take that back. Not only was she finding negativity in that, so the waitress comes and she's like, why she acting? I'm like, she didn't do anything but ask you, was you okay? And I'm like, yo, like, check, please. We didn't, like, can we eat? And it just, everybody know when I put these up, I'm frustrated. I cannot stop. That's first and last date, grand opening, grand closing. I don't have time for all of that. So that's my little 32 cents. Mm-hmm. We're gonna move on.
He did. Did he just go out to anybody else? Okay, so he did. Yeah.
I hit mute because anyway, I'm back. So this next one is going to be, again, we'll start with the ladies. Gentlemen, you can chime in if you have something to say. This is important, and your answer may be no. Have you ever been responsible for being a red flag that somebody should avoid?
Yeah, I can admit that.
Yeah, can you give us a little snippet of what that looked like?
Yeah, just not willing to let go of my singleness. For one, being here in Atlanta, I think we kind of touched on it before the show started. Being here in Atlanta and still kind of learning my way around and learning the scene and, learning what's what and who's who. I'm not ready to dive into anything serious until I know, who the players are, And so I have been a red flag for men that have been interested in dating me. I've let them know up front what it was and what it wasn't. I'm I'm not sure if they saw me as a red flag. They continued to pursue me, but I knew that because I did not want what they were trying to give me, I was very well the red flag in that situation, and I accepted and I admitted. But I never lied to anyone. I never, led anyone on. I told the truth, and sometimes the truth can be a red flag for some people. Like I think she was mentioning earlier, or he was mentioning earlier about women that are rigid and women that just don't want to give up, anything. I was that woman, so, I've been a red flag. I'm not afraid to admit that.
I think, yeah. And I was trying to dig back in my mind and think, okay, like what has a man told me? in that respect. And probably in the past, I probably might have been a little too easy. And that threw up a red flag with a guy. You know, when I'm open, I'm open. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm just like, okay, cool, let's go. You know, because I'm very self-aware. And I honestly think that it might have been a red flag for the guy. I really think it comes from a misunderstood place, because I'm just so self-aware and I've done the work on myself. I know I'm kind of that person that's like, if I meet you and we vibe and we're mature, we're adults, let's go. What we waiting on? Let's go. So that might have been a red flag to some guys, because they're like, whoa, slow down. I gotta get, you know, we gotta be together for this long. And it's just like, I don't necessarily believe in all that, because I feel like you will never know someone. I feel like energy never lies. If the energy is there, we're grown, let's go for it. We'll work all the kinks out as we go. But evidently men don't feel that way. At least the ones I've run into.
And that's kind of what I wrote down for mine. So I have to take notes because I'll forget as I'm listening. That is pretty much what I wrote down. I put yes unintentionally because I am a free spirit. So they take that when I tell people, apparently free spirit is code word for other stuff. But for me, like when men ask, oh, are you looking for a relationship? No, I'm not looking for one. But if I happen to find one with the right person, I'm open to it, because I don't want them to think I want one with you. Because what if I don't like you? What if I find out I'm dating you for a little bit and on date 2, I'm like, not so much. And I have been known to go out on one date and be like, nope, because I see already I am not going to be able to be with you. So in that, they hear free spirit. Or when I talk about energy and being connected things, they hear other words. So, and I found that out. And I found this out from my son. He was like, Ma, you got to stop saying these words to men because this is what they hear. But I'm like, this describes who I am. I don't know what these other women are doing when they say it, but I know who I am when I say it. So
can I interject real quick? Can you tell me those words? I need to know those words, sis. Like, what are the words?
Apparently, I don't know either, because it throws
maybe
up
it's
a red
just
flag.
The word free spirit.
Yeah, free spirit is the words apparently. So
can I ask you guys a real quick question? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
When you're done,
I'm good.
Before we move on, can I ask you guys a quick question?
Absolutely.
With that, okay. In respect to free spirit, this should help us out. Why is it that some men feel like a free spirit means she's a wild woman that can't be tamed? Because I feel like that's what men think, and it's
men
wrong.
think that.
Yeah,
a real immature man thinks that free spiritedness means sex, you know, but that's immaturity, because obviously free spirit is temperament, energy, all of that. It doesn't have to do with necessarily this, that, or the other, but that's what they want to hear, so they make it into that.
Oh, okay.
And I'll piggyback on the idea that how terrifying it is for someone to say, I know enough about you to choose you, when I haven't reached the level of maturity to know enough about myself to be comfortable with being chosen. And so one of the issues I have with the analogy of men pursuing and using, you know, the animal kingdom as the comparison is that in the animal kingdom, the pursuit is prey, you know what I mean, to be devoured, right? And so if you are in a situation where you're in pursuit of something and it stops and says, you got me, it could be terrifying, because that's not how this works, right? And who am I to convince the zebra to stop running and say, like, you got me, dog, go ahead and eat me. You know, it can be really scary for a man who hasn't reached the level of maturity. So when I hear free spirit and I haven't reached that level of maturity, what I hear is, like John said, free sex without the necessity of pursuit, without me having to prove myself, without me having to do anything. You're literally going to walk into the lion's den and offer up a sacrifice because, you know, whatever reason. So I think that's the disconnect.
You know what? With that pursuit thing, when you're running after something, people don't actually think, maybe it's not a good thing because it's actually running from you.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, that I do want to go back to what Ashana was saying. In my mind, what you were saying, even though maybe some men may have thought it was, I don't consider what you did red, because you was upfront with them.
Yeah, but a lot of men look at it as,
you gonna get your turn, sir.
A lot of men look at it as you led him on, or you led me on. So, again, when I meet a guy, I tell him what I want and what I don't want. So if I say I don't want a relationship, but we can be friends, if you want to take me out to dinner, if I invite you out to dinner, we can do those things. But the label of relationship or any exclusivity, that's not what I'm looking for. Now, if you want to stop right now, then that's fine. I accept that, because I don't want what you want. The problem is when I tell them this, they're on board. They're like, okay, yeah, we can be friends. No problem. I don't mind going out with you, getting to know you. We can be friends. I don't have a problem with that. 2-3 months down the line, they begin to have some other feelings. And, it's a rude awakening when I have to remind them, like, hey, my feelings are still the same that they were on day one. And so now they start to feel like, well, we didn't been out to eat. We may have had sex, and you're telling me you don't want to be with me. I've been telling you that I don't want to be with you. So they're all on board for it in the beginning. And then, a few months down the line, it's like, you playing games, you don't call me every day, you don't text me every day, you don't check in on me, I travel a lot, you always gone, you don't call me when you on your vacations. And it's like, yo, wait a minute. This is not what we talked about. This is not what I do. This is not the type of situation that we have. And so to them, I'm very much a red flag, because my feelings didn't change in 3 or 6 months, theirs did. And so now I'm the tease. I've been playing games, I'm giving them the runarounds, all of that stuff. And all I've done the entire time was be honest. So a lot of times honesty is not the best policy.
Yeah.
It always is.
It always is. No, I agree. It always is. But some people take honesty, I've been told when I'm honest, you're being mean. How is that being mean? I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, I've been
you just don't like it.
See, it goes.
I was told that just because I didn't give somebody my phone number.
Yeah.
It goes for men and women. So this scenario, her scenario, definitely works out for men and women. It's really the expectation of the other person. They're hoping, I'm going to spend time with you and I hope that you're going to change your mind and feel different. But I'm like saying, no, I told you I see you as a friend. Now, if we carry on, like you said, sometimes sex, no, sometimes no sex, but we're continuing. Nothing has changed. I told you very clearly that there's not going to be anything more, but you have to understand, for the other person, it's not like a bad thing, but they like you more now. They have found you more interesting. They find you intriguing. They find that you have elements about you that really rings their bell. But you have to understand that that's them. What you're doing is what you're doing. You're saying, I'm being honest with you. If you want to rock with me, you can rock with me. If you want to step away, you can step away. But for the other person, like, you can't really be mad at them because they like you. They found things about you that's really dope.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't.
Okay.
It's a figure of speech.
Yeah.
The idea is that, it's kind of cool, but understand that sometimes you also have to be one to be aware that if they're staying in that state, that you should kind of like find a way to remind them, like, hey, once again, I'm gonna be traveling. Maybe I'll check back with you in a little while, in a couple of weeks, to let them know that this ain't an everyday thing. This isn't like every day you should be expecting me. Because remember, expectation is the thing that hurts your heart. It's the expectation, like you don't want, but you get used to a particular thing, and that expectation gets you every time. Now, as far as This one down here, I like her, the free spirited. That's me. I get called that all the time. I got energy for days. So people say, like, you this energy, like I love to travel. I love to eat. I will get on a plane for food. You know, that's me.
Oh, wow,
So,
nice.
but the catch is that I have lived as me so long, understanding my truth, that I operate from that place. Since I operate from that place, people's like you got this air and confidence and energy. As Stella said, you got that energy about you that you can tell, like, why am I waiting? Let's get started right now.
I'm a firecracker.
Or you have that situation like she says, well, this is who I am. Can you deal with me? And do not belittle what I find interesting. I'll end there.
What I appreciate about this kind of conversation,
and I bet you ladies go through it too. Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I didn't hear you. I didn't mean to talk over you. I just didn't hear it.
No, I'm saying that's all right. I want you to speak. That's why you guys are here.
Okay. There's a major thing, and I know these two ladies have heard it because I hear about what they do. Do you ladies experience, and then also this is for the guys, like, why do some guys, and I already know what Mr. Relationship Life Coach is going to say, but where men have literally looked you in your eye and said, I'm scared of you. You're too good to be true.
And you know what happens when that happens to me, when they, get to know me a little bit and they're like, oh my goodness, you're everything I ever wanted. You're too good to be true. I let them know I am. And that is a red flag, because if you feel I'm too good for you or too good to be true, it is time for me to go, because you're going to treat me as an option. You're not going to treat me the way I'm supposed to be treated. You're going to keep doing things to see just how good I am, to see how long I'm going to hang in, to see what I'm going to do next, to prove how good I am. And we're not doing that.
I got breadcrumbs because of that, for that very reason.
Yeah. I had a guy who told me, I need a woman like you in my life. You got all your stuff together. You work, you got your business, you got a house, you got a car, you got everything going for yourself. I need a woman like you. Most of these women, they need help with their bills. They need, they want you to buy this. They want you to go 50-50. They want this, they want that. And I said, well, stop, hold on. How do you think I got to the point of having my stuff together? Do you think that it was, by fate? Do you think that I'm depending on somebody? Like, I got my stuff together because I go out and I work for what I have. That does not mean that you get any breaks. That don't mean that you get to approach me and say, you got your stuff together, so I don't have to, pay no rent or pay no bills or pay no car notes or nothing like that. Like, no, that don't, because I have my stuff together does not give you a day off. You still need to come with your heart as well. There's no breaks, just like there's no breaks for me. I'm not looking for a man that got his stuff together so I can ask him for something. Don't come to me and see that I got my stuff together and think that, you get a day off, because that's not how it works. So I think a lot of times some guys, not all, because I've dealt with some very mature men who didn't care about what I had. But you do have that element of man who sees a woman that has her stuff together and he will pursue her just to have a place to stay. And, I've talked to guys before. I was on a phone call with one and he asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm cleaning up my house. He said, oh, so that means it'll be clean when I get there? I said, that wasn't an invite. And he's like, oh, you mean? But again, there we go again. Telling somebody the truth is being mean. So I was like, I'm not being mean. I'm just letting you know I'm cleaning up my house. That wasn't an invite for you to come over. So a lot of times men hear, oh, she got her stuff together. That's a come up. I can't settle for that.
So I'm really appreciating this conversation so far. And Ms. Lane, you said something earlier that we really need to dive into. You said that the guy didn't understand when you started off the relationship as this is what we are. We're not exclusive, right? And he pursued you in a way that was, hey, what's going on? We're doing all these things. Why are you not calling me back? Why are you not? It sounded real reverse-like. It sounded like the way the things I always hear women say. about men. So what the reason why I appreciate you saying that is it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
Men are also in that situation where they get it confused. If you're not having open and honest communication about what you are constantly, like Rick said, people make up relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And because you guys were having so much fun and you were spending a nice amount of time with him, he thought he had a place without having the conversation to go, hey, I know we started out here, but are we here yet? I'd like to go here. So I appreciate you saying that, because if you listen to these streets, men are the only one not making a decision. So I really
right. No, but and then what I would try to do is I would try to, go 2-3 months without talking to him, just to kind of help him reel it back in, and he said something one time. He said, so what if I went out on a date with another woman? I said, I would be happy for you. I want you to go out on date with other women. Like, I'm dating other men. I want you to go out on date with other women. He did not like that. I guess I was supposed to get jealous. I was supposed to be offended. I was supposed to be appalled. I encouraged it. I said, why aren't you dating other women? We're not dating. I want you to. And he didn't like that. But we did have some fun, but I would make sure that, I'm not accepting every date. I'm not accepting every meal. I'm not going out with you every time you invite me out. I'm not answering my phone every time you call, just to kind of help you put things where they're supposed to go.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
That's
really
revelation to me. So
Nothing
when I
helps
get
in
curved,
that
that's
time.
helping me. I never knew that. I never knew. Thank
Nothing
you.
helps but time
Right. Time and
and the
cutoff.
separation.
Yeah, eventually I had to cut him off, because outside of just not being compatible, there were other things that I noticed that I just kind of made the decision, like, this ain't never gonna work with us. Even if I did decide to want to be in a relationship right now today, it's not going to be with you, because I've seen things in you that just don't sit well with me.
I see my namesake has things to say as well, so I'm about to.
Yeah,
real quick.
Tony Massey hold his emotions on his face.
Are you a
Yo,
Virgo, Tony Massey?
I am a Virgo,
And I'm a Virgo too.
I'm a
I'm
Virgo
waiting for
too.
turn. I'm like, here. I'm
I'm a Virgo too.
When I go, where can I go? Can I go right now? Can I go right now? I want to go right now.
What are you?
Okay, me?
Yeah, no, relationship life coach. What are you?
I'm just the guy. I am an author, and that's why I went to go find my book, because I wrote a book on relationships too, unsolicited dating advice from an unqualified source, and I wrote a whole chapter on what Ashana is describing, and I call it the truth game, and it is in its purest form manipulation. I'm sorry, saying, "Hey, I was honest with you," does not relieve you of the responsibility or the accountability of leading someone on. If you don't want me to quote the Negro poet Fantasia, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. It is not fair to date someone. And my man Gunner Man says dating is a fact-finding endeavor. This is where I'm finding things out about you. And so as you continue to accept these dates and allow me to spend time with you and allow me to be intimate with you, your honesty at the beginning does not indemnify you of the feelings that I'm developing for you. So if you know I'm not your type, if you know you don't see a future with me, and you know that I want something from you that you're not willing, not capable, not able to give, then cut me off. That's your duty.
Well, I did.
That is your duty.
I did. So
No, I'm not talking.
Initially, it started off as a friendship, and we went out to dinner a couple of times, and it was fine. It was fine. He was fine. He said friendship is fine. I said friendship is fine. Cool. At about the 4th or 5th date, I started to notice things that I was like, okay, yeah. Even if I were considering a relationship, I've now seen things that I no longer, like. It was at that point that I got out of it. And I was like, this ain't, you know, we don't have to go out no more. We don't have to talk no more. We don't have to do anything. So once I realized that even if I do change my feelings from friendship to relationships, it's not you and I gotta go.
All right, great. Hey, Derek, we're at the 44-minute mark. We good?
Oh yeah, we good. I like this. I like the way this is flowing. I do want to add a couple of my little my little pennies to this. So here's the thing, right? This is what I heard when Ashana was talking. And a lot of guys do this. Don't ask me how I know.
I don't mean to cut you off, Derek, but I want to make it clear on behalf of all the men of Shop Talk and this platform. We are not attacking anyone's personal. This is a forum that we're discussing. So although we may use your story, we're not criticizing or critiquing your decisions. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. You know.
Go ahead, Derek.
You know.
So also, guys, just as a housekeeping note, when you hear the echoes, that means too many mics are open at the same time. Because there's a lot of people up here. So if you're not talking, please mute. And that's my theory, should kind of take out some of the echo. So here's my point I want to make. And then we can kind of segue into this next little part that I want to do here. What I heard was you gave them what you were willing to do or not do up front. And what a lot of times what guys do, even if they are in the mind that they want to be in a relationship, they'll play your game just to spend the time with you. They'll tell you that they down for that unattached life. And then they spend the time with you. And in the immortal words of one of our favorite poets in the United States, Babyface, he had this song called Whip Appeal. The next thing you know, he's sprung and he don't want you to go nowhere. And now he has to really show his hand now, because now he's feeling like, I don't want nobody else to have this. This is normally what happens when two people intentionally date, right? Not in your scenario. And then he and she, the man starts liking you and he's like, we've been on these dates and now I like it so much, I need to lock it down. This happened with him pretending that he wasn't gonna, have intention to be with you. But there's like I always tell people, most of us are not capable of having an emotional detached situation. We're not built this way. It's tough. Especially if you're attracted to them, you enjoy spending time. 7 months later, y'all just been. I don't know too many people that can do that. And in your situation, right? You always hear women and people say, men don't have emotions. I just heard that in your
Y'all just hide it well. You just hide it a little better than we do.
Yeah, it's there. We go through a lot of the same stuff. So anyway, I want to move to another segment of the show. And I will ask, let's see. This is to the ladies primarily. So I'm going to give you 3 colors. We're talking about red flags. So the scenario I'm going to give you, you're going to tell me if it's a red flag, stop, green flag, keep going, or gray. It's kind of, I'm not sure. I need to spend some more time to figure it out. Okay. Is it a hard stop? Do I keep going? Or is there some room for me to contemplate what it is?
Brother, are you colorblind?
Just call it a yellow flag.
Color is yellow.
Gray area. A gray area.
Okay.
Come on, man. Y'all know I'm Professor X. It all has a place. It means something.
Garrett Morgan is spinning in his grave right now. You done changed his whole stoplight.
Boo, boo. Gray meaning it's a gray area, okay? Not sure. Right. So we'll start with Stella Nova.
Okay.
Scenario is, if you are on a date with a guy and the guy says, me and my ex are still really good friends, like BFFs, and we talk every day, and that's my dog. Is that them having that tight relationship with that ex? Is that a red flag for you? A green flag, keep going, or I'm not sure. I got to figure out some more stuff.
It would be great for me because I try to like what Tony Massey was talking about earlier. I try to be a little bit more flexible to hear someone's POV, because there are no absolutes in life. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're absolutely screwing, and it doesn't mean that they're absolutely not. I might
Right.
want to just, dig a little deeper and then I also look at things like, what if that were me? I would want someone to be a little bit, more understanding with me. And I just think it's unrealistic to expect people to not talk to the opposite sex. I think it's retarded.
Right. Anybody have any reaction to that? Doesn't matter who or not. We can go to the next one. Nobody? Adrian?
Had to find my mute button. I'm with Stella. I say great, and I say that, and I've stopped talking to people because me and my ex-husband, we still talk. We are still great friends. We don't talk every day, but if he needs something, if I need something, we are able to call each other. We're able to connect, and I do believe that if you had a relationship or love for somebody at one point, why would you just stop doing that? Because we were friends before, and we just ended up being better friends than married. And a lot of people don't understand that. And for me, when somebody doesn't understand the relationship that I tell you that I have with somebody and you don't believe me, that's a red flag for me, because then I have to prove stuff to you. And again, I'm not in the business of proving stuff to people about who I am.
Right. So here's the thing. I didn't, this is a nuance to what you just said, because I'm looking at the comments from people. So this question is to you, Adrian, just by virtue of what you do for work. In this particular scenario that we just talked about, let's say you have an audience of 10 people and 9 of them say, hell no, it's red. Is that a trauma response? Or is that, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm shutting it down just because you just said that you're the friend, is that an automatic kind of, because I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor either. I'm a master's psychologist. However, I will say that has more to say about them than it does about the other person. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean that I can't do it. So don't put your beliefs on me. And most of the time when people tell you, oh, men and women can't be friends, that's because they can't. Has nothing to do with me. A lot of my best friends are men, and that's who I go to for relationship advice, because they can tell me what they see and they can help me meet their friends. That's all I'm saying.
I do think it's trauma. I do think it could be a trauma response, though, because sometimes people react to things based off of what they've been through. So they may have had a specifically bad experience dealing with that exact scenario, and now they're trauma bonded to that experience.
Yep. Any of the fellas, is that a hard red flag for you if you meet a woman and they automatic, go ahead. Go ahead, Tony Massey. The floor is yours.
No, you skipped Deshauna.
I don't know why I asked it. Oh, do you have something to add to it?
I mean, I pretty much agree. It's a gray area. It just depends. I don't know enough about the relationship to just be like, oh no, I'm not putting up with this, because sometimes people are co-parents. Sometimes people have been friends, since they were 10, 12, 15, so who am I to come in and tell you that you can't be friends with somebody? But again, like she was saying, Stella Nova was saying, it's a trauma response when people respond like that, because they've given somebody the opportunity to remain in a friendship, and that person betrayed their trust. That person cheated on them or lied to them. So they're responding the way that they've been treated. But when you're mature, especially these days, people got kids by everybody. So who am I to tell you not to talk to your baby mama or your baby daddy? If y'all still friends, then y'all friends. Now, if I find out that there's more, then I act on that. But I can't just act on, we still friends. Okay, cool. I'm still friends with some of my friends too, so you give a person a chance to show you who they are, and then you make your decision based off of that.
Gunter Man, go ahead.
As you hear me say time and time again on this show, dating is all about gathering what? Data. Dating is all about gathering data. You hear what they say. You hear what they say, and what you want to do. I'm going to see if it lines up. Does it line up? Does it line up? Does it line up? Pay attention, listen, read body language. There's a conversation that the person has with you with their mouth open. Then there's a conversation that they have by their use of words, body language, and the attention they pay you.
That's energy.
It tells a story. So stay in the gray area, gray flag, but see what the truth is, what is being manifested by them. And so often, the world tells you not to trust your intuition. No, trust your intuition. Trust that if you're living in a place of truth, you'll find that your alignment with the world around you is going to come at you in such a better way. Such a better way. When you don't live your truth, you have opened your life and areas of space of your life to places and spaces that, as we say back in the days, all willy-nilly. You don't know what's going to happen because you just opened yourself up to all the madness. But when you live in truth, and I'm not talking authentic, I'm talking greater than authentic, because authentic just simply means you're comfortable doing a particular thing. We're talking about what's actually true to you. When you operate from a place of truth, you'll find that the world will align with you, and you're going to be able to clearly see what's right and wrong for you.
And also, I do want to say, I will throw a red flag out there if somebody only has bad things to say about their exes.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yes, bingo.
You should never go into something new and just be bad mouthing someone. For one thing, that's a red flag, because it's like they're probably not over that hurt, that pain, that trauma.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like I said, remember we said in the beginning, blaming everyone.
Yes.
Can you guys talk about that a little further? Like
narcissistic behavior?
Okay, let's not call it narcissistic, but let's just say if someone is holding on to some past hurt, right? What would you suggest? How would you suggest? All right, let me just put it out this way first, right? With red flags, I'm in a season of grace, right? You have to really show me something for it to be a red flag for me. I don't know you. We're getting to know each other, so you're going to do things that I don't like, and I'm not. I don't know you yet, and you don't know me, so you might do something that makes me feel a certain way, right? So, but you guys bring up the point of someone always talking about their ex or having a certain feeling about their ex, right? What if it's not, and I'm just hypothetical, so don't kill me. What if it's not that they haven't gotten over them, but they just have a real hate for them? How does that work? And Adrian, because my middle name is the same as yours, but I spell it different. How does that work? Like, what kind of, like, what does that look like from a clinical standpoint?
Well, I'm not going to give a clinical answer because everybody is different. So it's difficult to say what it's like for different people. So, and then I have to be very careful with my answers on that. But I will give you my perspective. My personal perspective is hate doesn't exist without love. And once somebody reconciles that they do love them, and then they reconcile how they feel about them, and they're able to deal with loving them and not being with them, the hate will go away. So I would say when I've met people and like even clients, like they have to work through that. They have to work through that on their end, because it's not the other person's responsibility to not make them hate them. And granted, people in relationships, people have done some pretty grimy things to other people, and it's very difficult to forgive, but you can't move forward or live your life with that hate inside of you and carrying it with you, because you're carrying that person as you carry that hate. That person is inside of you. As long as you hate them, that's how long you carry them. So the sooner you release them, the sooner you are free of them and all the other stuff. And when I see people like that, I'm not going to necessarily say it's a red flag, but I will tell people, and I have told people, that's something you might need to work through, because you don't get over it. You don't forget it. You don't stop. You have to work through it.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. It's not because I just want to make sure we're defining what red flags are, because we're quick to call things red flags. Right. And I just want to get away from certain things like that. And it's one of the reasons why we're doing this show, is because we are so quick to meet somebody new and label all the things that we've been through in past relationships that we didn't like, we did not address. Now this new person is doing it. Now it's a red flag, and I gotta leave. Like you are missing out on so many great people based on your past experiences that you haven't passed yet.
But I will say I do believe red flags are personal. They're red flags for that person.
Right, exactly.
So my red flag may not be Stella's red flag, you know? So we still have to, certain things for me are red flags. Like if I see that they're not mentally well, I can't be around you because I'm gonna treat you like a patient and I can't be with you. So yes, they need help,
Right,
but I can't give it to you because you've already tried to date me. So I can't be your
right,
therapist.
right.
So that's a red flag for me. If I'm talking to you, every time I speak to you, I feel like I'm in a session. That's a red flag for me.
And I feel like
But that absolutely should be a red flag for you, because that's something that's, like, to me, a red flag is something that happens consistently. Like it doesn't happen once and automatically it's a red flag. It's a consistent thing. And what you're saying, you're consistently talking to somebody and you're like, wait, time out. We had this conversation before, and they continue to bring it up. That's red flags.
Yes.
Not if I do something. Oh, I blew my nose at the table. Oh, that's a red flag. I can't be.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody said anything that I know you're just
no.
fun example, but I just feel like at some point you have to trust, like somebody said earlier, you just have to trust your gut though. A lot of things, like she said, I mean, your red flag is not my red flag, but I'm just an energy person. I have learned to read energy and read between lines. So, I mean, I look at, things that are heavy as red flags, not something shallow and maybe that someone might say, oh, that's nothing. Because I mean, like you said, we have to be a little bit more gracious with each other, and we have to be a little bit more flexible, because people have crap that they, and you're never going to find somebody that doesn't have any crap. Yeah, I can do the work all day, but the thing is you're always going to have work. You're always going to be working on yourself. There are some people who set themselves up for failure like that because they're afraid. The underlying reason for some of that is fear. I had a dude tell me just the other day, he says, and he admitted it. He said, I tend to look for things wrong in a person so that I can dismiss them.
So I really appreciate you saying that. That is powerful. So back to Adrian with this one. Fear and red flags. How do we tell people, and Derek, I'm sorry if you're getting ready to go somewhere. How do we have people dig into what's the difference between I'm afraid because I did something before and this is a real red flag? How do we help people move through that lens?
And yeah, it's difficult to say because it depends on exactly what it is as to if it is a real fear or if it is like something they can work through or move past. Like some people are just afraid of a relationship, period. So that's something that they can work through to be able to move forward. But, if you're afraid of somebody being abusive and hitting you, and then you see the flag, you see the same pattern in somebody else, believe that. Because you know what it felt like. You learned from experience. Like you didn't, just because you starting over, when you start seeing the controlling stuff, you know when it's coming. You know how to stop that. So it just depends on what the fear is, as in what they would have to work through, or if it's worth working through with that person that's in front of them.
So I got, maybe with the time we got left, I may do like 1 to 2 more depending on the answers, and then we can talk the last part of the show about maybe that's one thing that would cause you to halt if you're already in a relationship.
Can I answer the question?
You sure can.
So I say it's a red flag because of the scenario that you presented. And the scenario was you're on a date and the person makes it clear, hey, I talk to my ex every day. The reason that that's a red flag for me is I have an ego. And the fact that you made it clear to me that this is important to you without realizing that there's only so much space that can be occupied. There's only so much male energy that can be occupied when you're in a relationship, and you're defining a role that already exists before even allowing me to find what role I exist in your life. So I it's almost as if you're making it clear that I've already given my ex the big piece of chicken. but you're welcome to as many wings and drumsticks as you want. And that for me is a red flag, because that there's value that you've put on this relationship that already exceeds any value that you could find with me. So I'm not suggesting that there is a sexual relationship going on, and that the two of you are still pining for one another. I'm saying that only one man can be the man in your life. Now, you can have men in your world, in your life, you know, where, but to be the man in your life, the man that you go to, your confidant, the one you lean on, the one you ask questions to, or even the one you get advice from, that's me. Now, do I expect to be that person day one? No, not even day 30, day 60, day 90. But what I do want to know is the role hasn't already been filled. It's almost as if I come into a company and I'm promised a role. We want to make you vice president of communications, but first we're going to make you a department head. And then eventually we're going to bump you up, only to find out there's a guy already in that role, and he has no desire or intent to leave the company. So now I have to decide, am I going to keep fighting for a role that was promised to me, or am I going to walk away and find someone who's willing to at least, provide me a path to that space? So that's why for me, it's a red flag. It isn't so much that you're talking to your ex, it's that you made it clear that this is a standard. This is a boundary that I'm not willing to change because I'm letting you know in the dating phase that this exists. So that's my 2 cents. I'll land there.
That's an amazing perspective. Like, perspective is everything, because how people view things really just makes up the whole shebang, because I never even thought to look at it that way from the male perspective, even though it almost seems like, I don't know, if I for a lack of a better word, it almost seems like common sense, because men are known to have slightly bigger egos, especially as it relates to being, our guy. You can't expect a guy to come into, that makes sense. You can't, I'm not one of those women though. Let me say that, because when I'm done with you, I'm done with you. But like, it just makes a lot of sense. That's a competition that I don't think any woman should put a man through.
And I say men, I think it's fair across the board. I don't think anybody wants to compete. If I'm pursuing you, and we're dating one another, and we're fact finding, as my man Gunter says, I don't want to compete. I don't want to, and this is why for me, I'm dating other people, or I'm exploring my options. That's cool. But at some point, you and I are going to have to make a decision. And if you're going to continue to explore your options, then that means I'm not one, because I'm going to go ahead and bow out, because I value myself and I value my time. And I think enough of myself that I don't want to compete for something that I believe is suited for me. Mm-hmm. So that's the other issue, is now I'm in a game of comparison, contrast. So now do you value who I am, or do you value the attributes that I possess that are so different than him? And so when I hear things like, you're nothing like my ex, that makes me, because now it isn't me that you like. It's the contrast between that experience and what I'm presenting. And so if I fall off, and again, I'm all about grace. I'm all about not present. I don't have what they call what is it called? The alternative guy, the representative. I don't have one. I'm not smart enough to create one. What you see is what you get. And so you're going to have to take me flaws and all. And if you're creating this perfect guy out of me, then I'm gonna go ahead and show you all my scars just to let you know.
So you wrote the Beyonce record?
Huh?
You wrote the Beyonce record?
No, I wouldn't be on this show. I'd be on Oprah. I'll land there. Go ahead, D.
So we're gonna we'll probably do one more of these, because I have some just in case we had extra time. So I overdid it. So let's do this. Let's do a Shauna Lane. Let's do, if you were intentionally dating for like a future something long term, not the other thing you were doing. Let's say you was intentionally dating and this person had no social media imprint anywhere. Would that be a red flag?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. In fact, I've dated men who had no social media at all whatsoever. That's not a problem at all. That's a green flag, actually. Because he's not distracted or reeled in by anything. Honestly, it works for me because sometimes some of the stuff that I post, if he did have a social media, we'd be having problems. So no, absolutely not. That's a green flag for me.
Okay. Anybody else?
So can I ask real quick? Why would it be a problem if he had a social media and you had a social media?
It wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't be a problem at all. But I know that there have been times where I've posted a selfie or I've posted pictures, on vacation in a bikini, and I get comments from men. I get, all type of stuff. And so, looking in on that, depending on the type of man that he is, he might have a problem with that. So it might bring problems into our relationship. So it's not a problem if he did have a social media, but it's definitely not a problem if he doesn't. I don't mind either way.
I almost think that it causes a problem sometimes. Like I get leery when a guy, I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. When I meet a guy, I don't even mention my social media. I don't talk about it. I don't even talk about social media. I don't ask him for his, because I honestly don't want him to ask me for mine. And it's not because I have something to hide. It's just that because I know all the things that I do, for whatever reason, again, this free spirit in me, men take that wrong. I have had so many men go, oh, you just want attention. And I'm like, bruh, I have a business. I am a brand. This is what you do on social media to get, yes, you get the attention, but don't mistake that. That attention is getting me my coins, nothing else. I'm not that insecure where I need, social pats on the back and accolades. I'm trying to sell some books. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I'm like, who are these dudes?
No, I'm very
you guys are some of the most emotionally intelligent men I have run into.
Right. I just broke up with one. Well, we weren't together, but I just stopped talking to one because he went through my social media and then he asked me, he was like, so are you looking for attention from men? And I was like, have you seen my social media? I'm fully clothed at all times. I can't help it. I'm cute. I do what I do. I am who I am. And I'm selling stuff at all times. And guess what sells stuff? You sell stuff. Your personality sells stuff. Who you are sells stuff. So what do you mean? Am I looking for attention? Like, will you, what? And every time I tell somebody that, and they always say, and he looked at your social media. And I'm like, right. He looked at my Instagram and decided that I was looking for attention from men.
They always
just real quick. I'm sorry. Just real quick. Again, here is something that that women tag that only men do, right? And we're hearing men having the same emotional hang up that women have, because we call women the CIA, private detectives, because they go through your social media to find out what's going on and what you're doing. And we contribute this only to women. And I keep trying to tell people it's an individual matter across the board. And we're hearing about a man who is so insecure that he had to walk down your social media platform. Now, I've seen your social media. And for him to go, you're looking for attention, I have no idea what page he was on, because it wasn't the page I was on. Now, if he was talking about Miss Lane, then I would be like, maybe, because just real quick.
Okay.
I popped in the social media this morning. I was like, wait, is she coming on the show tonight? Oh, right. Okay. So
please, that's mine. Do you feel that way about mine? Because I'm all over the place.
You're a comedian. You always got.
I'm a comedian, and that pisses some guys off, because I will go real. I will go in on women as much as I go in on men, and I have a very warped sense of humor. And
I would be transparent here. I was one of those guys with my wife. My wife has like 13,000 followers. I thought I was handling business when I hit 1,500. And I won't lie, you know, my wife is very beautiful. I mean, really, really beautiful. And it bothered me the way men responded to her until one day while we were dating, you know, we had this conversation. I was like, you know, I'm about your social media, your Instagram, you're all out there, blah, blah, blah. And she leaned, and this is where I think me and Tony Watts agree that not just grace, but strategy. You know, someone said earlier that some man said that, you know, I need you to help me get to the next level. I don't think it's that I need your help. I need that nurturing, comforting spirit that only a woman can bring. And here's what my wife did, and I thought it was so cold. She leaned over and kissed me, right, really passionately. And she said, "You are the only one of the 13,000 people that follow me that get to do that." It changed my whole perspective. It showed me that I was overreacting to a fantasy that other men had about a reality that I was living. Man, at that point, I was like, hey, let's bump, go put that one dress on, put that out. I mean, you know, I went from one extreme to the other because now I felt, you know, again, going back, I wrote a whole chapter about it called The Fragile Male Ego. My ego was hurt because all these men are looking at my woman rather. But then I had to realize that it's because she's fine as hell. That's why they look at her. You know what I mean? Yeah, and she's in the industry. You know, she's a TV producer and all that stuff. So, like Adrian said, this is selling everything, opportunity. You know, everything is she's putting herself out there because this is the way. This is your resume now. You know, it wasn't like that. You know, when I was 25. You actually had to have something beyond just your social media presence. But that's what you taught me, is that it's just the presence. You get the reality. You get to actually spend time with me. You get to actually be with the real person. And so before we beat up on men who lack that maturity, sometimes it's necessary to teach people what they don't know. Sometimes ignorance is not always it shouldn't always be looked at as a bad thing. Ignorance is just, I don't know. Now, if he's unwilling or she is unwilling to understand that there's a bigger picture here, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm selling books, I'm selling, you know, whatever, then yeah, now you're dealing with a closed-minded person who lacks the maturity to understand the big picture. And that can slow you down, especially if you are your brand, right? The last thing you need is somebody trying to cover you up while you out there trying to, you know, and again, it's all about, you know, branding yourself in a way. And the way my wife did it, I just thought was amazing because she protected my ego while dealing with my ignorance. And I think there's value in that.
Can I ask you real quick, is your wife does she have like a really athletic build? Does she do workout stuff? You think I'm stupid? How the hell am I supposed to answer that question? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, she's her Instagram is Saya Savvy. She doesn't promote herself. So no, wrong person. No, there's a person on Instagram that has your last name, and she's. I mean, essentially, you're saying, is your wife does she have an athletic body or not? What am I supposed to say to that? That's not what I was going to do. You really do have a fragile ego. I told you it's fragile. It's man, it's made out of crystal. You were so off base. No, I was about to go and say, I know who your wife is. She's a baddie. No, because this particular lady, that's her brand. She's an athletic coach. That's why I was asking that. No, my wife is a TV and film producer. Okay, I missed that part. I mean, she could be both. She could be both.
So really quickly, I want to respond to Tony. Tony down here, he said he looked at my Instagram, you know, and said, "You coming on the show?" So it kind of goes back to what Adrian was saying. So in addition to traveling the world and being a travel blogger, I'm also a paid travel blogger. And I made a post on Facebook about this recently because somebody said, you know, how you do business and you always half naked. And I'm like, so out of the thousands of pictures you see me with my clothes on, you see me in two bikinis and I'm half naked. And I had to make it I had to make them aware that, you know, what you see and what somebody else sees are two different things, you know. So I put a picture of a skinny girl in a bathing suit, and I put a picture of a thick girl in a bathing suit, and I said, you know, they both got on the same thing. I can't help who gets looked at, who gets the attention. And I told them, you know, the people who find me and pay me to travel found me because of my bathing suit picture. They found me because I have a natural body and I have stretch marks and I have, you know, all of the flaws that a regular woman has. They found me and they selected me because they said, you tend to our following. You look like the women that follow us. We want you as our ambassador. We like what we see. The women who follow us will like it as well. We want you to promote to them. So a lot of the times I've gotten business in a bathing suit, and not perverted business, not some man in my inbox saying, can I take pictures of you naked? I've gotten legit contracts and legit deals from somebody that'll say, hey, you appeal to our following. Our following is Black women between the ages of 30 and 50. You know, we sell skincare products, we sell hair care products. You're natural. We love how you love your body, and we want you to rep our brand. So, you know, perception, again, is everything. While it may look like nudity or sex or whatever it is to one person, to the other person, they like, that's marketing and we want her. So
Right.
it's different for everybody.
Just to clear it up, like Tony said earlier, definitely wasn't judging you.
No, and I know. And
Okay.
I know you weren't. I know you weren't. I just had to, you know, because you had said something and then Adrian had said something, and it the two came together, and I was like, this is, let me merge those two together. It was like peanut butter and jelly. All you had to do was put it together. So I was like, let me put that together real quick, because I do get a lot of people.
About my favorite food on here now.
I do get a lot of people that are like, you know, you show a lot. Like, how do you get business? I'm like, the NSBA in Washington, D.C. contacted me to be a partner to help small business owners get resources. So, you know, if what they saw wasn't enough to say, no, we don't want her, you know, then I really don't care what anybody else sees or think they see. I say, is women more naked than me on social media? If me being in a bathing suit bothers you, my motto is, you don't like it, don't look.
Mm.
And I will say, I actually have two pages. One where I have my business, which is here, it's my business page. But then I have a page where I just do dancing on reels and stuff. But I do my ratchet stuff. No, I don't be too ratchet. But
I love it. I love open people.
Well, and because we did talk about signs earlier, I'm a Gemini, so I need two pages to capture my different personalities.
I have 4 pages.
Yeah, my wife told me a long time ago, when I started having those little feelings like how Tony Massey was talking about, and he talked about what his wife did. She told me this, and she hasn't had to tell me that many times, but she said, it's not about what they do. It's about what I do. You watch me. Forget about them. Now, if I'm doing something wrong, check me on it. But it ain't about them. Because I used to be like, dang, look at what you got on. They're going to be hold on, Derek. It's not about what they do. They're not coming nowhere near this. This is my personal space. And that shut my whole thing. I was like, you're right. I'm standing down. So it's little things like that we have to hear that. We have to hear that. Even though we trust you, we're in a relationship with you, sometimes we need to hear that because we know, because we used to be out there, we know how these dudes do.
And that's the key.
Something.
That's the key. Let me just say this real quick, and then I'll give you the floor. That's the key, Derek. And when a woman says, you know, you can trust me, I trust you, but I don't trust men because I am one, and I know how I get down. So you know what I'm saying. So you know that reassurance goes a long way because I know me. Go ahead, Stella.
I forgot now.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. It's okay. It was something important that I wanted to ask you guys, though, because I wanted to ask you, do you guys feel, if you think about all your male friends, like say not the ones necessarily on here. I don't know if you guys are friends or not, but like think of 10 male friends or associates. Do you feel like most of those guys are, I got it. And there's something that Mr. Watts said. Are men as flexible, not like you guys, but are they as flexible with women? Like, because of the ego thing. I feel like men are very hard on me sometimes and very inflexible. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense from what you said, Tony?
Can you expound on inflexible as it relates to what?
Okay, like for example, I get you guys, you've seen my page because you asked me to come on here, so you know my page. So this is a great question for Tony. I get a lot of guys who will inbox me about everything that I post. It's like, oh well, and they pick me apart, nitpick me, and I'm just like, I'm just being, and they take. I will clearly, at the bottom of my memes, I put the hashtag Nova Jokes because I'm trying to let guys know it's real, but that's what comedians do. We make fun of reality. We take reality and we spank it on its butt and make a joke out of it. But they come at me like, oh, how dare you? And I'm like, where's your flexibility? Laugh, relax. Comedy is not therapy.
So my first question to you is, do you know these people?
No, I don't.
Then don't worry about what they got to say. And if
I'm not. I'm asking you something completely separate. It's not about my worry. I'm asking you guys separately. Do you think other men, the majority of men, are as flexible as you guys tend to be with their mindset toward women?
Well, I would have to say,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm moving around because my laptop is about to die. I thought it was plugged up and I can't find my plug.
All right, it's no problem. So I would say the men that are in my inner circle are flexible. They understand. They're mature enough to understand what a woman is doing, what she's about. Like if I was to date Miss Lane, right? I wouldn't come to her and go, "You now have to cover up." That's how I met her. That's her business. So I'm not going to tell her what she needs to do to make my ego feel a certain way. And Rick could tell you, I've always been Tony thinks he has a big ego. I fill up the whole room and everybody's room in there. But I've always felt that if you tell me that another guy likes you, okay, then we're gonna see that I'm gonna beat him out. Like he can't compete with me. Like who I am is who I am. Period. So I've always had that type of confidence. So for when I hear about a man going to a woman's inbox to tell her what she's doing wrong, I want to hit him with 1-800-therapy because you're way out of pocket. That's nothing that you should be doing anyway. And if that's one of those red flags, right? If you're dating a woman and you're beating her up about who she is, like what Tony did with his wife, that right there is what real communication and solid. I don't want to use the word grooming, but
it's grooming.
Reassuring you that I'm not out here for nothing else but you, right? So if I feel a little insecure, and we have an open and honest communication, there should be some reassurance, baby. You're not what you're worried about. You never have to worry about that. And because I trust you, I'm going to move on from that. So any person, I don't want to just say men, but any person who stays in that space needs some help. They're holding on to things that's in their past, and they got to let it go and work on a new relationship. That's how
I also think that what you're facing is what's called, and we talked about this on the show before, the Madonna whore complex. And that is this idea that a woman has to carry her, the whole woman in the streets, freak in the streets type thing, where a woman has to carry herself a certain way. We also call it respectability politics, right? And it's an unfair dichotomy, and it's an unfair standard that women are held to, especially women who are entering into spaces that are predominantly held by men. I think about how female, especially Black female comedians, are held to a very different standard than male comedians, especially Black male comedians. Being a Black male comedian, I think, is the closest thing to free speech that exists, because you can almost say anything without repercussions as long as you don't attack certain communities. But when it comes to Black women, the difference between queens of comedy and kings of comedy, using the same curse words, talking about the same topics, but yet the scrutiny for the women was so much more. And I think it's because when I look at you, and I went to your page and you're hilarious, by the way, but when I look at you, for some men, I'm unable to view women, any woman, without viewing her through the eyes of her being a potential mate. Even if I'm married, even if I'm, and this is why when a woman says, would you treat your mother that way? Well, that's an unfair comparison, because I've never looked at my mother in the way that I look at every other woman on the planet, because my mother holds my sister and all these other people who are biologically out of my reach. I'll never hold them to a standard that I'm going to hold you, because you have the potential to be in my life. And so when I view you and I scrutinize you and I criticize you and I critique you, I'm not doing it through the lens of your profession or through your, your humor or whatever. I'm looking at you as you couldn't be my wife out here acting this way. Well, I have no desire to be your wife. You know what I mean? That wasn't even a thing. But that's the vantage point that scrutiny comes from. And it's unfair, because that same guy who will criticize, Ashana in a bikini in Aruba, what the hell are you supposed to wear? You know what I mean? But that same guy, if you got into a relationship with him, all of that respectability stuff goes out the window, because now he is going to demand that you be the fantasy that you sold him in his mind through your social media. And that's where it becomes really toxic and really unfair. I'll land there.
So you know what? And this is what I think overall. And I'm not saying men only. I'm sure women do this too. So let me premise it with that. But it's unfair because I mean, I'm biased, of course. I feel like I'm hilarious, but I have held back for years for that reason, because I was afraid. I said, men are not going to want me when I be me. When I let the world know who this Virgo crazy woman is, they're gonna give pause. They're gonna be like, man, I don't know. But my son is like one of my cheerleaders. He's 22 years old. He's like, Ma, don't worry about it. Be you. He said, I got a feeling you're not going to find your mate until you get up there anyway, because no average Joe is going to be able to deal with you. And it's sad. It's been that way for 6 years. It's like, I have not been being myself, and it has been killing me inside. And I've literally had men come in my inbox and they're like, they have judged me. They were like, do you think a man is going to want you being who you are? And I was just like, you know what? Maybe not most of you, but one will. So I'll hold out for that guy, and you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
And I know we have to go. I just want to say something real quick. So everything that y'all were talking about, I have the complete opposite flipped on top of its head effect. Apparently I scare men. So men don't come to me. They don't talk to me. I have no DMs asking me anything. And I'm not mad at that, because I don't want crazy stuff coming at me. But but yeah, and I've been told that I look like a lot of work because I am wifey material, and before a man can step to me, he has to have his stuff together. That's what other men have told me, because I have to ask men, like, what is it about me? What is it that nobody talks to me? I mean, this is even in public when I go out. And I know, and I'm just gonna say this because I'm a Gemini, and our egos are up here too. So I know what I look like, I know who I am, and I know what I bring. So they missing out. So but apparently I intimidate men. That's all I had to say, for the same reason, some of the same reasons that Tony was talking about down there. You
don't intimidate men. You scare little boys. Men are not intimidated by you.
That part.
Exactly.
And ironically enough, I get a lot of little boys hitting on me, but whatever. And I mean in age, like in their 20s.
Yeah. I have a different frame of reference because I'm from up north, and we don't, that ain't even how we don't even like this whole being scared of, like, I don't know, maybe because I'm in the DMV and everybody's kind of just doing their thing. This fear thing that you speak of, these dudes out here, they don't give a damn. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up.
I know we
Right.
are, and I'm gonna say this: you are correct. It is mainly in the South, and when a man does approach me, he is normally from somewhere else up north visiting, and they're wondering how I got down here and can't believe that I am from North Carolina. So, go ahead.
First of all, y'all gonna get off the South. That's first and foremost.
I already said
I
I'm
know
North
everybody.
Southern.
Everybody,
I'm a Northeasterner.
everybody,
Wait.
everybody knows that sort of
Wait,
the wire.
time out. She's in Atlanta, right? You're in Atlanta,
Which one?
Adrian?
Oh,
Adrian, where
North
you at now?
Carolina. North Carolina.
You're in North Carolina. Where you from?
where in
Yes.
Atlanta?
Where you from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Okay, because North Carolina is the South. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It is. I said the South.
Oh, okay. I thought you said. I didn't think. I didn't think I hear you said the South. I thought.
No,
you
that was
said
Stella.
from
That
the
was
South.
Stella saying she was from the Northeast.
That
Oh,
was
okay.
yeah. And I said
Okay.
when men approach me, they're from up north. I
Yeah,
get
okay.
up north men that will approach me, and then they find out I'm from North Carolina. They're like, "Are you sure?"
As
So
soon as you go south of New York, everything else is south.
Oh, stop. Anyway,
I'm New Jersey, so I qualify for Northerner. I'm New Jersey.
Tony Watts, let him know.
Derek,
But
get a hold
yeah.
of the show, man. Come on, come on.
Yeah.
You the host, damn it.
this has been good, man. I like the we always love women that ain't afraid to speak their mind. And that's not afraid to
The
talk.
right three.
we ain't have to pull teeth. So I'm always down for that. That makes for great conversation, and I think we had one tonight. And so we down the line we're gonna definitely have to have y'all back, man. Because I like we, you know what I think, like we've had a good run, man. I know most of it's Tony Watts finds our folks. Some of us have some of our people come on, but we had a good run this year, man. Like everybody we've had on has been amazing. So I commend you, ladies. So what I want to do is I want to go through each one of you and just kind of tell people, if you want to be found, how to find you. We'll start with Stella Nova.
All right. I'll have you follow my main page because my main page links you to all others. So it is at introducing_Stella Nova. That's Instagram. On Instagram. Don't worry about the other ones.
Gotcha. Ashana Lane.
So yeah, on social media, I am Ashana Lane, all one word. My travel blog is inthetravellane.com, all one word. And my professional business website is ashanalane.com. So it's pretty much the same thing you see on the screen.
Cool. Adrian, you're up.
yes, Adrian Charleston, www.adrian-charleston.com, or you can just Google me. I'm easily found. Butterfly Flow, you can Google that. I'm easily found. Butterfly Flow Life is me on most of my platforms. I'm actually coming up with the website that's butterflyflow.life. So that'll be coming soon as well. So I'm everywhere under the same name.
This sister
Yeah.
said, Google me. And why are men intimidated by me? Google me.
Me too. Oh, I forgot my website, dawnofnova.com. That's my website.
Got it. So anybody who, I don't have it up on screen, but guys, just rewind, replay. We'll put this. We'll try to get these in the comments so you guys can come back and look at it. Yeah, I see 3 shows for my show right here. So y'all gonna see some DMs popping up. So any of the fellas have anything coming up this week that you want to promote? I don't have anything super special. I think I'm gonna run a replay this Wednesday. I think I might take a break. Y'all know
I'm looking for somebody to be on my show this Thursday.
Uh-oh.
So who's free
See,
this
look,
Thursday
there
at
you go.
7:30
There you go.
Eastern Standard Time? You got
Look,
it?
and there's another one.
What
Done.
time?
7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've been
All right.
wanting to be somebody's unfiltered co-host. So if any of y'all want a female to be a regular to stay, that's me, because hosting is my background. Acting, modeling, and hosting is also my background.
Let's talk, Stella. I'll reach out to you. I'll be in your DM, but it ain't,
It'll be business. I
Yeah, it'll be
understand.
business.
I'm
All right.
completely-
I'll hit you guys up for sure.
Yeah, Rick, look like you got 3 weeks all lined up right here.
Well, next week, I think we're all taking off next week.
Who said
No.
that?
Um,
Who
Next
said
week is
that?
Christmas, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, who said that? Who
So,
said
but I need somebody for this Thursday show.
Just whoever you want, because we all said, we were available.
No.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm gonna be hitting y'all up for January because I ain't, I'm trying to take some breaks because people know I don't do those. So I'm gonna try to take some breaks towards the end of the year, and then January, February, whenever y'all available, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Just keep that in your mind. And if not, we can pick a whole separate day to do a bonus show because y'all coming. So anybody else before we go? We about to wrapping it up.
Can I tell you guys about this real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
You might have looked it up already, but Life in Question book. This is on Amazon. It's available in 7 different countries. It's available on Barnes and Noble. This is a dating Bible. Like I said, it has over 1,000 questions that's going to help you read between the lines of someone, because it's like if you've ever taken a character assessment for a corporate job, that's basically what this is, but urban.
Cool.
There you go.
That works perfectly for a relationship show. Gunter Man is first up. All right, guys. Tony Watts, I thought I saw your mouth moving, but you was on mute. You on mute, sir.
Stella spoke first, so you going
You're
first.
on mute,
Stella.
Tony Watts.
Really?
Yeah, what you want Monday wake up? You got anything coming up?
Well, we got Monday wake up. So Monday 6 a.m. Monday wake up. Me and my co-host Jen Hurt. We're bringing some. We're training Mondays into Marvelous Mondays. Check us out. We inspire you. And then on Triumphant TV on Saturday, I'm talking to an actress. Her name is Jen Garcia. She's an actress and an activist. She's a firecracker. I think I bit off more than I can chew. So we're going to see how that works out. I just did a show last night on what are men doing wrong. I sat down with 5 women and had a conversation about, red flags and dating, what that looks like, and how these streets are horrible. So my long-term goal is to take the blue dye out of the pool. So this Sunday, I have Sherelle Thomas. She will take over my channel, and she will talk to 5 guys about what women are doing wrong. And then we'll circle back and make everything make sense.
Cool. All right, guys.
Aren't we all going to be somewhere soon?
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow. My bad.
Right.
Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are on the Hello Black Man podcast with Kalisha Patrice as their guest host. And all 5 of us will be there. Hopefully, I know you said, Gunter Man, you kind of gray area there, but hopefully you can come, sir, so we can show up and show out. And she's polled some women. She asked some questions that we don't even know what they are, and we just gonna do what we do. So we ready. So we'll be there tomorrow night. Just follow our go to our shop, realshoptalk.net. I'm trying to look at me with all the technology. Forgot to put this up. Go to realshoptalk.net, and our profiles are there. Just follow us. You'll see the flyers and all the other goodies. So I'm going to put that flyer for tomorrow on there as soon as we get off of here, so you guys can just click on it and go straight there tomorrow night. So hopefully some of you guys, or all of you guys, will come back and support us then too. So that's all I got, guys. Good show, everybody. Thank you guys for coming. And like I said, we're going to have you back in some capacity, one way or another. We got a lot of folks watching that have platforms too. So if you got something to push, we got you. So on that note, we out of here. Y'all have an amazing night. Please stay safe. Please take care of your family, your friends, and especially you. So on behalf of this football. All right, guys. So we about to get out. We about to get out of here. Thank you, guys. Audience, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page, and let's just keep pushing. We're gonna be here. I think next week we're here. Well, I won't be here because that's my birthday on Monday, but the last Monday we won't be here, and then we'll come back on January 3rd. So but we'll put that information out there. So yeah, y'all have a good night. God bless, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.